Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and welcome to Tales Unlimited Kitchen Rants. It is the 28th of February, and I'm giving very serious thought to investing in cough drops because I am just sucking them up. Uh, want to talk about an upcoming event. It will be held on a weekend of March 7th, Cleveland Concoction. Uh, Type in Cleveland Concoction 2025, should pop up on Google website, or you can go to my website. I have a link. Um, and it's basically a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. It takes place in Aurora, Ohio. And on one hand, it's a con. Vendor events, gaming events, maybe a food truck or three. And on the other side, Author's Alley. That's the gem. Authors come from all over. They bring their books. They turn a room into a pop-up bookstore, basically. A lot of sci-fi, a lot of horror, indie stuff. And there are also panels. See, these authors can come in and participate for free as long as they're in 3 panels at least. And they share their wisdoms, their insights, their network, and they share their wisdom. So, nuances on style, industry stuff, trends, how to create monsters or better villains, stuff like that. Uh, so if you're a bookworm, this is the place to be. Aspiring author, place to be. If you are an author and maybe you want to show up in the future or network, also the place to be. Other thing I want to mention, the concept of a pat ending. Try to avoid them. Uh, this mystery project I'm working on, it's it's beaten me senseless for years because I didn't do a pat ending. It challenged me to come up with the start of the next novel of this current work, and I'm grateful I did it that way. Although I may never say I'll never think I'll go for quite that kind of ending ever again, but totally worth it. But beware the pat ending. My favorite example, Avengers Endgame. I'm sure enough of you have seen it, so it's not a spoiler too much, but basically Captain America. He takes the Infinity Stones, Mjolnir, and he offers to go back and return them to where they need to be, set things right, natural order restored. Um, and then he doesn't pop back like he's supposed to. He just shows up as an old man. He found Peggy. They got married. They live happily ever after. She dies, and he just shows up and hands the shield over to Sam and says, "Okay, you can be Captain America." And Bucky's cool with it. That's a pat ending. Ugh. Because it ignores the fact that Captain America showing up in the past is going to mess with the timeline. Captain America showing up in the past is going to basically give Hydra, like, well, let's kill him and harvest his organs. Or, let's see, something like, are you seriously going to let your friend Bucky suffer for decades? Are you? Are you? Are you? Um, but I think, what if a series was done, right? What if you actually had the pat ending, but it wasn't so pat? What if Chris Evans as Captain America had to go above and beyond to salvage the timeline just because of that? It wasn't even it wasn't even so much that he was trying to get to Peggy. It was he was returning the stone, he was returning the stone, he returns the soul gem, and remembers Hawkeye mentioning some dude in a floating dude in a hood with a red skull, and he wanted to meet him to make sure it wasn't his red skull. But there's no one there because when the soul gem was taken, Red Skull got loose with a grasp of the powers, cosmic magic, who knows what else. Means he to be able to look at you and know all about you. So imagine he wasn't reformed and he wanted to rebuild Hydra as a mystical powerhouse, knowing what he learned, and he wants to share it. Well, he'd have to get back into the past, say right after World War II, and deal with his counterparts in Hydra who don't necessarily want to give up their throne, and then turn it into his Hydra, right? So Cap rushes to Peggy because he's afraid for her, and sure enough, she's been kidnapped. House is shot up, 2 dead Hydra agents. He's looking around for clues. This tap on the shoulder turns around into a punch. wakes up in the Sanctum Sanctorum, New York. Standing over him are two sorcerers, pupils of the Ancient One, who is taking the time gem and putting it inside that little thingy, the Eye of Agamotto. And she goes, "Oh, what a mess you guys have made. So you freed the Red Skull, and he wants to rebuild Hydra, and I need your help to shut them down." So Captain America goes from being the first Avenger to being the first Avenger and the first secret defender. And they could have had a series based on this. And when the smoke clears, he doesn't get the girl. He barely saves the girl. Peggy is wiped, goes off, and everything is as it should be. And Cap lives his life with like a veil over him. No one recognizes him, and he lives a lifelong bachelor. Told, don't have kids, don't do anything significant, leave Bucky to languish, or you're messing with the timeline, and we come after you, say the sorcerers. And he delivers the shield. That's not a pat ending. And that would have been interesting to see them rise to that challenge. Instead, they went for the lazy, easy end. Shame. All right, my voice is going. I'm out. I'm Marcus V. Calvert. This is Tales Unlimited, Kitchen Rants. Please like and subscribe. iVillain.net's the website. Books available on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited. Good for anyone looking for novels to read, short stories, how-to guides on writing, or guides to creating characters. Please check them out and have a lovely day.